Yes, sir, baby, on the Radar Radio. Yo, joining me today, special guest in the building, Drilly in the building. What up, bro?
Not 4Gs, no Gs like these, you heard? Jack B's, Jack bigger beats, on my shit, we gonna let it squeeze. You know me.
We ain't doing the freestyle yet? No, I'm fucking with you. Welcome to the show, bro. I'm happy to have you here. Me and you've been talking in the DMs for a few weeks, trying to set this up, and I'm actually, when we're recording this, post rolling out, I'm about to go to Houston tomorrow, but you know I had to get you in before I left the city. I know we've been trying to set this up for a while, and I love this Many Men remix that you put out on Halloween. Real spooky out here. But before we get to all that, you know, I know you, shout out my guy Kev, he interviewed you at WSU. A lot of people was at that interview. I want to get like the full history of you and kind of where you from and how this all started. So let the people know. So where are you from and how you first started getting into music?
I'm from like 194, it's like area near Fordham.
Okay.
194 near Briggs. And basically, my brother, he started Drilly and shit. So for me, he was doing his rapping thing, him and Spaz. They was doing their rapping thing. I wasn't really rapping at the time. I was like, let them have it. I always could like do poems and stuff, but I didn't really want to rap. I don't know why. I just felt like that.
You just didn't feel like, you felt like it wasn't your path?
When Spaz got locked up, it was like, for me, we wasn't really dropping no music. My brother was still dropping, but it was just him. So then I just said,
fuck it.
I'm
gonna carry the torch.
Yeah.
I think it's working out pretty well for you so far.
So I dropped my first song, I think it was January or February of this year. And from there, they felt it. So I kept making more songs and more songs. You see, I got better. Then now it's just I'm here. So I've been doing the right thing.
Right. And even in like a year, you know, we talk about how quickly like a lot of music out of the Bronx has blown up so much, but it's like a real organic, natural, like, you know, people really just jacking it, people really fucking with, people really fucking with you too at the same time.
Yeah.
Is it kind of crazy to see like how far, like how much and how your views have just continuously gone up since that first track in February? Like it hasn't even been a year yet. Like that's got to be a crazy feeling.
I don't know. It's just like one song was like only 100K that song. I posted on Raps and Hustles. Then I made my own page. I started promoting my own page. Once I did that, I've dropped Free Spaz Part 1. That fake hit. It hit like 200. It's at 200 something K right now. But my song that they really is deadly.
Brief interruption.
It's deadly, yeah. But the song that's really everyone know right now that I got the most views is deadly.
So when you start, which by the way, making your own page is probably the best decision you could have made too. I always tell artists, I'm like, yo, make your own pages because once you hit like that, I think it's 1,000 subscribers, then you can monetize your video. So like your video gets like, I don't know, like 500,000 views. That's a couple $1,000 in your pocket that, you know what I'm saying, that goes to you too.
Yeah.
I'm sure you realize that pretty quickly too. You're like, let me get my money right.
Yeah. I just dropped on like, I felt like I had to drop on a platform to start myself off.
Of course.
But I wish I'd have started on my page, like, from the beginning.
Right. Because I feel like people will find your shit. Like, if people was fucking with you from that, you know, from when you dropped your first record anyway, they would probably end up finding your records on your pages, too. You know what I'm saying?
And another thing, when I first made my YouTube page, like, it wouldn't pop up until I dropped the song. So when I was telling people to subscribe, it was hard. I had, like, 50 subscribers.
Because people were, like, searching for it.
You got to search for it real good if you want to find it.
Right.
So it was like, but as I kept dropping the songs, if you look up the song, the more views it got, it just started popping up. Now it pop up off top.
Because that's the only place you drop in the records too.
Yeah.
So it makes sense because you know when you post on other pages, like they'll pop up first because you're not posting the records on your own page. So once you start kind of getting your own page up and all that stuff, like then it really will start taking off. And I always say like you got to be consistent with the dropping the YouTube videos too, because I've seen it a lot where not even just with artists but with people, if you don't drop enough, YouTube will like start to, you know, like you said, make it harder to find your page and make it harder to find your videos too. But it seems like you're doing the right thing. You putting your people's music on there too, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like,
gotta make sure everybody win.
And like and it works because then like each video does better and then everybody kind of eats off that shit too.
Yeah.
So you said your brother was like the main inspiration for you kind of, you know, picking up this torch and starting to rap. Who were some of the people that you were like listening to growing up, like music wise?
Really him and Spaz.
Really him and Spaz?
I don't know, the other people, I was listening to other music, but as soon as your guys make music, you're going to be able to relate to it more. Like, you're going to know what they talking about, you can relate to it. So it's just like, you might as well listen to them, because it's going to be fire to you.
Right. I feel like that's the best explanation of people saying that they listen to their guys growing up, like that I've had here. Because people will just be like, "Oh, I listened to my guys growing up," and then they don't give me an explanation why. But that's a really good explanation because. I don't know, maybe sometimes people who watch these interviews, they might not always get that context. Like, you know, a lot of people come on here and they'll be like, oh, I listened to Herbo growing up, or I listened to, you know, this Chicago artist or this New York artist. But when people say they guys, they don't really give an explanation. So I think that's it's good that you explained it to the people because it makes more sense now to people who watch and see you. That's like, okay, this is why he mostly only listened to his people growing up because, you know, they rapping about shit that you're going through too, because you know you're living with them, you're hanging out with them, you're going through the same type of scenarios and situations.
Exactly.
For you, what was it like growing up in the Bronx? What's been your experience so far?
For me, like growing up in the Bronx, like it was hard at sometimes, but sometimes it was I don't know.
Sometimes you like it.
Crazy life.
Crazy life. And even with like this sound now coming out the Bronx and really like all of y'all out there kind of making it and pushing it, like even with the sample stuff, you know, kind of going into the 50 Cent Many Men remix. What was the decision there to kind of remix this song, do the sample for it? What was that decision? Like how did that kind of come across your plate?
I forgot. I was doing something. I was looking up music or something. You know how, like, I wasn't paying attention to the TV, just listening to music. Boom, the beat popped up. I ignored it at first, but for me, you know how a beat stay in your head.
Yeah,
I ignored it at first. I think when I came back to it and I was thinking about it, I'm like, yo, that was flock, like that was fire. Boom. I think I played it for someone. I played it for the CEO of Drilly, the CEO for Drilly.
Yeah.
Played it for him. He like, nah, that's fire. You gotta slow it down though. So he was just telling me, him and my other son. He telling me like, yo, you gotta slow it down. So when I went in the studio, I was just my man, go slow it down, make sure they hear everything I say, but talk. As 50 Cent was on that beat, I gotta talk. Only way to do it.
I always think I'm like when people do samples, I wonder if the artist who they're sampling is her. Like I wonder if like if it's come across 50 Cent's radar.
Probably didn't yet, but it's gonna come across his radar soon.
If 50 Cent was if 50 Cent was watching that video, listening to it on YouTube, and then he somehow found this interview, what would you tell 50 if 50 was standing right here? What would you tell him? What would you say to him?
I don't know. I probably I don't know. Cut the check. Yeah.
Cut the check. Sign me.
He know. He got a jacket. That's fire.
Right. Yeah.
Got to. I know if he hear that, he gonna jack it.
1000%.
He gonna look for me. Probably not look for me, like, but he gonna make sure somebody know he like that song.
Right. So I mean, you know, when people be passing around records all the time, like I pass around a lot of records too, like, you know, and it always gets back to people. It's funny, people will like hit me, people who work in the industry, they'll send me like a record that like I found like 5 months ago. They'll be like, have you heard this? I'd be like, yo, I was sending this shit out to people fucking months ago. But it does take a while for records to circulate and people to kind of get in tune sometimes with things go on, because, you know, things could blow up over really quickly. Things could blow up gradually as people continue to share them and whatnot.
Yeah.
So where did you get the Demon Child moniker from? Because I know that's a project coming out, right? Sometime in the next couple months, EP situation. So where did you get that name from? Because I saw it's your YouTube name too.
Because even when I was younger, like, everybody, I'm a badass kid. School was a badass kid. Home, badass kid. I was just a badass kid.
That's it.
It was just over after that. Demon Child.
Demon Child is just kind of.
It makes sense to everybody. Everybody, like, everyone that grew up around me, they already understand it. Like, Demon Child.
It already stuck with them.
Yep. Badass kid.
And how did you meet Dthang and Bando? How did that friendship start? Because I see, you know, obviously I seen them in the videos and whatnot and everything going on.
For me, I met Dthang, but like before, like when I was, but it wasn't like I met him to chill with him. I went to go play basketball in his hood. That's when his hood used to have the hoops and shit. Went to play basketball, I met him. But like how we got close, him, T-Dot, Dthang and Spaz did a song or whatever, and they started jacking each other. So after that, Drilly was going to RPT to pull up on us. We started, feel me, chopping it up with them more, pulling up on them more. Then that connection just grew.
That's it.
Yeah,
I love that.
like that.
I love that. And then Dthang reaches out to me about you.
Yeah.
But I've been known about you because of shout out my guy Kevin, and because I seen you working out here, and I'm excited for this project. Do we have any more videos coming out before the end of this year? Like, what else do we have coming out?
Of course.
Do you have anything else coming out by the end of this month, December? What are we kind of looking at?
Nah, yeah, something definitely coming out. PSA. Or We've Been Ready.
We've been ready because you've been teasing some stuff on your gram and shit like that.
Yeah, that's coming out. We gonna drop.
You gonna drop something on Thanksgiving? You like holiday? You like holidays, bro?
Probably. Nah, I was thinking about that though. Probably Thanksgiving. But I don't know. It's all in how it's looking. Like if the time's not right, I'm not gonna.
And if you're feeling it, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta let Mini Men go up too.
Right. You
I
gotta
can't
let
drop
it
too
let
early.
It breathe,
I gotta let
yeah.
Mini Men get to where it gotta get. Probably let that go for like a month. I don't know though. I gotta see.
Because when I see records that get traction, like, you know, because a lot of people been obviously posting Many Men, sharing Many Men. That's like one of those records that you definitely got to let breathe out. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes there are records that you drop and you like, and it's going up, but you like, oh, I could drop like again pretty soon, and it's not that big of a deal. You know, I don't think that record might be the record, but it's still a good record. I think Many Men is one of those records that maybe you could breathe out. But I mean, you know, we are a few weeks away from Thanksgiving, so you could just wait and find out too at the same time.
For me, you're gonna see how in the progression. If the progression really like if it just died down completely, then I'm gonna just drop it. But if it's still going up at this fast rate, it's going, I'm gonna just let it keep going.
Is there a reason you drop on holidays? You just like it?
Cause I feel like in the holidays, like Thanksgiving, everyone inside. What you gonna do? But watch this video.
Right.
You seen it on the gram already, like you know what you gonna do, but watch this video.
Right. Like
You're gonna be you're gonna be listening to music, cause not everybody spend Thanksgiving with their family. Some people spend it with their mans in them. They go to their man's mom's crib. It be all of them. They're not gonna be out there with their mom friends. They're gonna be in the room smoking, listening to what they listen to. And that's when I'm gonna kick in. And even when my songs don't do what they're supposed to do the first day, I never trip. Cause I know the next day I gotta do something.
Yeah,
You're gonna know.
I be telling artists that all the time, like, you gotta chill, like, give it a little while. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes time for people to get a hold of
Can't
things.
rush it. You rush it, then it's like, what you doing it for? You're not going to just go to the top. Just like everybody had to work. Everybody. So I just look at it as, what can I lose?
Right.
I might as well drop it. If it flop, drop another song. What can I lose?
What can I lose? I like that. You smart. You know what you're doing. So Demon Child by the end of this year, hopefully, or maybe top of next year.
Yeah.
TBD. Some new songs around Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays. Anything else that the people got to know about from you before we go ahead and body this freestyle?
Just stay tuned. It's about to get crazy. 2022 is our year. Like, I'm getting out of here 2022.
You out of here. You out of here. We was just talking about the before they were famous videos. You're gonna be in one of the before they were famous videos. They're gonna have
Definitely.
You watching this? I know y'all watching this interview, so they're gonna have this on there.
Out of here. I'm going. All of us. Me, Woo, Dthang, we out of here.
Out of here.
I'm gonna make sure of it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this freestyle. I still don't know what beat you doing yet, but I'm excited that you've kept it from me up until this long. So y'all could come back here tomorrow, or it might be out right now, depending on what day you're watching this. Go check that. Let the people know where they could follow you. Anything else that they got to know? Now's the time to do it.
Drilly _ on the gram. That's where you really can follow me at. Y'all know my YouTube page. So
there you go. Drilly on the radar. Check out that freestyle. My guy, appreciate you.